Xbox sales are plummeting, and not just in a few regions, but in nearly every major market. While Sony and Nintendo continue to focus on exclusive content and strong console sales, Microsoft is taking a completely different approach. The Xbox as a hardware product is becoming less and less important to Microsoft as the company focuses on its larger vision, the Xbox Game Pass. So what does this mean for the future of Xbox, Microsoft, and us as gamers? In this video, we'll dive deeper into how and why Microsoft might be stepping away from the traditional console war. Let's look at the numbers. Xbox Series X and S sales have fallen by 58% in Europe compared to the previous year. What's striking is that even though PS5 sales have also dropped, their decline is only around 18% over the same period. Microsoft has even withdrawn from markets like Saudi Arabia, a small market to be sure, but it shows that demand for Xbox has significantly decreased there. These sales figures reflect a fundamental shift in Microsoft's strategy. Over the past few years, Microsoft has changed its approach, and console sales no longer seem to be crucial to the company's larger goals. Where Sony continues to push hard for exclusive content and console-centered growth, Microsoft is increasingly evolving into a gaming service provider focusing on a cross-platform business model. The Xbox itself is now just one of many ways to access the Xbox Game Pass. So what is Microsoft's main strategy? They're all in on the Xbox Game Pass, a subscription service often called the Netflix of gaming. The idea is simple. Instead of locking access to games to a single console, Microsoft wants to make the Game Pass available on as many devices as possible. Players can access Microsoft's games on Xbox, PC, mobile devices, and even on competing consoles like the PlayStation. This is the crucial difference between Microsoft and Sony, which still relies heavily on exclusivity to make its PlayStation consoles more attractive. The Xbox Game Pass has the potential to reshape the gaming business in the long run. Much like Netflix and Disney Plus have reshaped the film and TV industry, Microsoft's goal is to steer the gaming market away from single platforms and toward a subscription-based model. As a result, the Xbox's hardware is becoming less relevant. Microsoft now views it as a means to an end, a playback device for the Game Pass, rather than a standalone platform defined by hardware sales and exclusive titles. So what does this mean for the Xbox itself? Microsoft views the console today much like Amazon sees its Fire TV Stick. The Fire Stick is not a profitable product for Amazon on its own. It serves mainly as a gateway to Prime Video. Similarly, Microsoft sees the Xbox only as one of many options for accessing the Game Pass. With this philosophy, Microsoft is stepping away from the traditional competitive mindset in the console market. Sony and Nintendo can fight for console sales, while Microsoft seeks to reshape the entire gaming ecosystem to be cross-platform and dominant. This approach effectively reduces the importance of Xbox as a physical console. The Xbox acts as an advertisement for the Game Pass and as an option for players who don't own other hardware. Microsoft shows a pioneering spirit here that could transform the gaming market by creating a completely cross-platform future. Of course, this raises questions about the console's long-term relevance, but Microsoft appears willing to take that risk. A key part of the strategy is moving away from exclusivity. Traditionally, console makers rely on exclusive titles to keep players loyal to their platforms. Sony continues to do so with titles like God of War or The Last of Us, which are only available on PlayStation. Microsoft, however, is increasingly opening its doors to multi-platform releases. For example, Call of Duty, one of the most successful game series, is still available on PlayStation, even though Microsoft owns the franchise. This step shows a clear direction. Microsoft wants Call of Duty and other popular titles to reach the mainstream market and be present on competing platforms. This multi-platform approach allows Microsoft to reach players who are not invested in the Xbox ecosystem. Call of Duty remains accessible to users while becoming part of the Game Pass without limiting the brand by making it console exclusive. This is a bold approach that sacrifices immediate console sales but aims to ensure long-term growth of the Game Pass. Microsoft's dual hardware strategy with the more powerful Xbox Series X and the weaker Xbox Series S brings its own challenges. The Series S is a cheaper, less powerful version that creates extra work for developers as they have to adjust their games for two different performance levels. A well-known example is Baldur's Gate 3, which was delayed on Xbox because the weaker Series S couldn't support certain features. This two-tier strategy forces developers to spend more time and resources, which could eventually lead to more costs and possibly discourage some developers from optimizing games for the Xbox. While the Xbox Series S is a cost-effective option that offers many players an affordable way to access the Game Pass, this example shows that Microsoft's hardware strategy has a weak spot. The split into two different performance levels makes the Xbox console less attractive to some developers and could potentially lead to fewer exclusive releases, as developers may avoid the extra work required to optimize for Xbox. What does this all mean for Xbox's future? The console will probably stick around for some time, but Microsoft could be the first major console maker to leave the hardware business in the long term. Today, the Xbox is just one of several options for accessing the Game Pass. If the subscription model proves to be a success over the long haul, it's quite possible that Microsoft will find it unnecessary to develop new consoles in the future. In the coming years, Microsoft will likely continue to offer consoles, but their priorities have clearly shifted. Microsoft is less interested in hardware and more in becoming the Netflix of the gaming world. If this strategy succeeds, we could see a future where Xbox exists only as a gaming service, no longer as a physical console. This would represent a profound shift in the gaming market, marking Microsoft's final departure from the traditional console war. Microsoft is taking on a completely new role in the gaming market. The Xbox as a console is losing importance, while the Xbox Game Pass is becoming the central product. This could mean the end of the traditional console war, as Microsoft is no longer focusing on competing with Sony and Nintendo. So the real question isn't whether the Xbox will survive in the traditional sense, but whether Microsoft can successfully create a cross-platform future for gaming with the Game Pass. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on the latest developments in the gaming world, subscribe to the channel and give us a like. See you next time.